Hey everyone, this is a video review of the Tyger Star Armor running boards. I purchased these for a couple reasons. One, I wanted a step to get in and out of the truck a little bit easier, and two, I was looking for a little bit of protection. What I really wanted was some full rock sliders, but they were either over $1,000 or had a pretty big lead time, and I actually had a series of trips coming up that I kind of wanted at least some protection for, and I thought this was a fairly decent way to get some anyway. I had read in some Facebook groups that these provided some pretty decent protection, that they were actually able to support the weight of the truck and sufficed as at least somewhat of rock sliders. I paid $349 shipped to my house, and I thought that would give me a good start value to give me some protection. I really didn't want my rocker panels to get mangled on the series of trips I had coming up. The packaging was just fine and worked out well, easy to get it out of there and get it onto the truck. Installation was really just a matter of 9 bolts on each side. You just kind of hold it up with your body and get it onto the bolts, and then put a nut on there. Alright, 9 bolts on each side, and they're installed. Took about a half an hour. Half of that was unboxing it. They're going to look good. They do take away a bit of your ground clearance in that area, but all rock sliders do. So that's actually sort of a good thing, because you don't want it to get up into your rocker. And they stick out plenty far. There's not going to be a problem with door dings unless they're above that level. They're definitely beefy, and I hope they do the job. One of my complaints is that they didn't go any further back than that. It should be another foot back, I think. I'm happy with the looks of these, though I could do without the Tyger emblem in there. And overall, I'm happy with the product as it is as a running board, but don't let the Star Armor name or any of the reviews fool you. They are not rock sliders, and I did use them as that, and technically it did do what I needed it to do. It definitely protected my rocker panels. I did use them pretty heavily, and you'll see coming up here. They did take plenty of hits, so I can't complain that they didn't protect my rocker panels. They, for the look of them, they look like rock sliders. They just are not, and they're so close to being a rock slider. All they would need to do would be to increase that wall thickness on some of those, and then the one bracket that connects it to the truck would need to be a little bit beefed up, and you got a pretty decent possibility for rock sliders without maybe the $1,000 to $1,500 cost. The first main reason that these are not rock sliders is the brackets that go to the truck. The bracket itself that connects to the truck is good and solid, but the bar that goes from the bracket to the running boards is pretty weak. And the very first time I touched ground with these, not even that hard, it was even fairly soft gravel, they bent back. So that causes probably more of the problems I'll show you in a second here. This was a common scene on my off-roading trips lately, and then also I learned to take a big pry bar along, and I can then get it bent back down just because of that bracket that bends.
You're good? Pry her out of the truck.
The rest of this video I'll show you the scarring that this thing has taken on the hits that I've done using them as rock sliders. You can see it. The pipe itself is pretty thin-walled, and it just caves in, and the weight of the truck just grinds that down and flattens that. Like I said, it did protect my rockers. You can also see the brackets there, how bent they are. This part kind of highlights how just using that pry bar to bend these back down so I can get my door open, how even that flattens the tubes. That they're just that weak of tubes. They're running boards, and they do that, but you can see here, even though when prying it up, it flattens the tube. Just a little bit thicker tube, and this would be a lot better product. It's just a little too flimsy. And then here's the other side, same type of thing. You got the flattened bars from me bending it down. You can even see the paint on the from the bottom of the door. Like I have aluminum doors, so that if it rubs some paint, I'm not going to have to worry about rust from it. But that was the kind of way of life with them. Again, I know they were running boards, but they kind of made it feel like it was going to be some protection, and it actually did. They never got where it was touching the body at all. There was always a gap there, just not enough to get the door open. So my plans now are basically I'm teaching myself to weld, and I'm going to make my own set of actual rock sliders and maybe weld them to the frame. And I think I may even use the brackets that was used at these to connect to the running board bolts and kind of do a hybrid system. I know there's one company that does full rock sliders just using the brackets on the pinch weld, saying that the Ford rates them at 7,000 pounds. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe. We'll see you on the trail.